Oh, wait a minute. Let me start from the beginning. Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about black and white photography. Now, I know you're probably thinking, like, black and white photography, what do I have use of that for? Well, a lot of people actually been asking me about black and white photography, and it's still a style. One of my tricks is pretty simple, actually. We kind of covered it in the last video that I did about lighting. Oh, wait a minute. Let me start from the beginning. In black and white photography, there is a thing called the grayscale, which is right here. Now, the grayscale is what everything in color turns to basically in black and white. So this dark green shirt that I'm wearing would turn to a dark gray or a black, but this would be very dark, where this would be a lighter gray. But in real life, and actually this sweater would be very much the same tone in black and white as my skin. As you can see, they're very close in color. In black and white, it doesn't matter if they're close in color, they will be the same in black and white. So you kind of have to be cautious and really look at your color tones. What really kind of helps is especially if you're doing it in studio, you can use your lights to produce the black and white that you're looking for. You just don't look for color, but you also look for lighting. So a more dramatic lighting would work perfect for a black and white. It's very dramatic, very artistic, very contrasty between your shadows and your lights. So I would turn off one of these lights on my face, and I would make it just one light, either from the side that I have it right now or from a more dramatic side light. When you turn those into black and whites, they become very moody, very old-fashioned. When black and white film first came out, the people had to hold the positions for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. They had to hold it for a very long time. They didn't have flash, they didn't have lighting, they didn't have any of that stuff. But now you can actually put a person in any position and make it a black and white, which is really good. I'm kind of going too much into the history bit of it, I'm sorry. That's what 4 years of college does. So in the black and white aspect of it, I personally, if you're looking for more dramatic, very artistic kind of things, I would kind of do a combination of front offset from the camera light, and if that made any sense to you, and then very side light, very dramatic side light like we had in the last video. That type of lighting would probably make the best black and white photo, but definitely look for color. Do not put a person that you want a black and white photo in. So if you were doing a photo of me, I would probably remove this and just go with a tank top and the shirt, because this would be too much of the same tone as my skin. So we would have very little of the dark. I would probably remove this and put me at a dramatic angle, and so you'd get a contrast of the dark shirt, my skin tone, and all these harsh lines. That's kind of what you want to go for. A lot of people wonder why they try their black and white photos, and they wonder why it's not so hard-hitting as some other ones. Contrast is always a good thing to have. So I actually have this photo of the Boston skyline from when I went on a harbor tour. This fog rolled in and I turned it into a black and white because I looked at it and it kind of was very moody, very dramatic. So I thought it really could use to be black and white. And it was a lot more hard-hitting in black and white than it was in color. The buildings were all different tones. There's different tones in the water. There's this white fog in between all the buildings, and it's great. That turns into a great black and white. Now, if all the buildings were all the same tone and the water was flat, it wouldn't have been such a great photo. It would have been very much a color photo, if anything, if all of the buildings were built with the same material, the same tone, all that other stuff. But they're all made from different material, So they're all different tones. And there's also light hitting off of glass, there is shadows, there's boats, there's a whole bunch of different things going on. Even today when I look at it, I was like, ooh, I could improve that so much now. And that's what's gonna happen. Every time you take a photo, you look back at it, you go, oh, I could so improve that now. But in those black and white photos, that's what you kind of wanna look for. So really study your tones and your colors and make sure, like, if somebody's wearing a white shirt and they're very pale, or even my tone, that they'll be the same tone. If you do a darker skin tone, or if I would, something like that, this shirt would be fine because it would be a contrast between the skin tone and the shirt. You also, one small thing is that you want to make sure that your mood of the photo fits to what you want it to look like. So even though I said, my side light and a side light this way, if it's a very dramatic, moody, like depressing almost photo, you would want just one set of light hitting the person, either backlit or side lit, like in our last video that we talked about. And that would be super contrasty, very moody, turn it black and white, and oh my God, there's your dramatic photo. And also if I'm smiling and it's very dramatic, very moody, very lighting, and I'm smiling, it doesn't quite match up. So you want to make sure that it definitely matches up. Everything just matches. The tones, the lighting, and the actual subject matches to what you are looking for. It's a very artistic kind of thing, so it's really all about how you feel about it. But I would definitely look for those three things: tones, lighting, and the subject, and the attitude of the subject. I'm gonna make those into like a 3A, 3B section. Before I end this video, I wanna throw up an example here. Here's a black and white. Here's another black and white. This one is a great black and white. And what I say it's a great black and white is because it's high contrast, it has different tones, it's not all the same, it's very dramatic, it's great. This one is not so good. It's because everything's the same tone, everything is not contrasty, you can't tell one thing from another thing, and it just kind of looks flat. And that's what you kind of want to avoid, is anything that's flat, in tones. I hope throwing up those examples kind of help. So if you like this video and you want to see more and you want to know more about different things about photography, please comment down below and hit that little subscribe button, because then you'll know about more videos that come out. And that little bell icon, ring-a-ding-ding, that will make you so knowledgeable of all of my videos that are coming out. If you have any questions or if you want to know something, throw it down below, or you can hit me up on my Instagram,